makes it 15-13.
Well, most sports radio hosts won't ever say that they hate being right. But I hate being right. And on Friday, I was right about the Houston Texans because there was only one thing that they could possibly do on Sunday that changes our mind about them. And that's disappoint us. They beat a winless Carolina Panthers team. I don't think we would have been coming into today's show all hot and bothered with the Battle Red Pants 10. I think we would have said, well, it's the Panthers. But when the Texans lose to the last winless team in the NFL, a team with a rookie quarterback that until Sunday had not had a good game, I mean, here we are. Same Old Texans or Classic Texans. Take your pick. This is who they are. There's not much to get mad at. I'm not mad. Am I even disappointed? No. I'm just, to be honest, expecting this. This is just who they are. And it's unfortunate that the new faces that are on this team are cursed to wear the same uniform as the big old meh sandwich that this franchise have been for so long, especially on a day where the Titans brought out the Oilers unis and balled against another team that the Texans lost to, the Falcons. It's a new era. It actually is. But today, much like you were after the loss to the Falcons, you are totally validated saying same old Texans, Classic Texans. And Sunday's same old Texans moment was when, after starting a drive at their own 48, thanks to a nice punt return by Tank Dell, the Texans got to the Panthers 35. It's 3rd and 5. You have a chance to ice the game, or at the very least, make it a 2-score game, if not just add on to your 1-point lead. But on that 3rd and 5, either because of the quarterback, and I generally blame delay of game penalties on the quarterback, either because of C.J. Stroud not getting the team up to the line of scrimmage in time, or because of Bobby Slowick's love of complicated motions with Tank Dell. Pick whatever you want. They get called for a delay of game. It's 3rd and 10. 3rd and 10 pass to the right sideline from Stroud to Tank Dell's incomplete. It's 4th and 10 at the Panthers 40. And here's the same old Texans, Classic Texans moment, because we've seen this in past regimes. They forgot that Kaimi Fairbairn's good. Kaimi Fairbairn last year was 6 for 6 from 50-plus yards. Kaimi Fairbairn's career-long field goal, 61 yards. Kaimi Fairbairn, over the course of his career from 50-plus, 24 of 35, and teams across the NFL kicking field goals of 50 yards or more are converting those at a 72% success rate. But instead, the Texans punt, and the Panthers go on a very long, 90-yard drive, run off the rest of the clock, and all they had to do was kick a field goal at the end to win the thing. So your defense, which had actually played pretty well in this game, they sacked Bryce Young 6 times, 9 tackles for a loss. They had the goal line stand in the first quarter. You don't even give your the defense really a true chance to win that game. As soon as the Panthers got into field goal range, you knew they were probably going to make it, despite the best attempts of Tavier Thomas to jump off sides and block the kick. So here we are. That's your Same Old Texans moment. It is the Same Old Houston Texans. It's the most interactive sports talk show in Houston. 713-780-3776 to call in or to text in. You can join on Twitch, twitch.tv/ESPN975. I have a question. How could that loss have been more Classic Texans? More Same Old Texans? What was missing? I've got a couple of ideas. Now, yes, the Texans had something historic happen in the fourth quarter. They broke the Panthers' 57-game losing streak of losing games when they trail in the fourth quarter. But there wasn't a Rosencopter. It wasn't started by a Rosencopter there. And on top of that, you didn't have a shanked Chris Brown field goal either. So it could have been more Classic Texans, and that's a real vintage. That's 2008. That's 2009.
Yeah, that's well-marbled Texans.
Right you are, Sean. Aged to perfection, some would say. Also, okay, I don't think that anybody on the Texans said, this is on me, or that it starts with me after the game like Bill O'Brien so often did.
Yeah, I screwed that up. My mistake. When we lose, John, it's look in the mirror time, and we did not win the game, so it's my fault. Again, it's on me. You can't kick field goals in a red area, and, we had too many field goals down there. I think at the end of the day, again, it comes down to me. Anything that happened negative in that game is on me. It's on the coach. We've got to coach better, and that's the way it will always be with me.
We did get close to that because C.J. Stroud said, well, only one person you can point the thumb at in this. Pointing at himself. It wasn't a good day for Stroud. He did not turn the football over, but they were not doing anything downfield, which he expressed frustration with. We'll talk about that later. And he had a bunch of passes that were deflected by Frankie Tutu, who is a very good player. The Panthers middle linebacker. He had a couple of deflected passes, a sack. It was a good game for him. How could it have been more Classic Houston Texans? More Same Old Texans? DeMeco Ryans did not get in a shouting match with a fan at the end of the game. You didn't have Brock Osweiler post-game press conference where he tries to fit in the National Football League as much as he possibly can. Or you didn't get him explaining how every single interception, like every single snowflake, is different.
Do you feel there's been a consistent theme with the interceptions that you've thrown this year?
No, I don't. I think every interception really has a different story.
Every interception has a different story. You didn't get that. So, at the very least, this could have been more Classic Texans. But I want to know what could have happened yesterday that would have made this a more Same Old Texans or Classic Texans loss. Sean Mapes, do you have any ideas?
You touched on it a little bit talking about Chris Brown, but a missed field goal. Actually, I'll just categorize it because there could also be something on a kick or punt return. I'd say special teams calamity. That's what it was missing.
They almost had that one.
Almost had one.
On that kick return down the left sideline. It was close.
But it's specific, like something that you can look at and you go, yep, that'll be on NFL primetime when they're talking about this game. And Vermin, oh no!
That's so true. No pick six.
No picks whatsoever.
No picks at all.
Honestly,
steps in the right direction,
City's
baby.
under new management with C.J. Stroud. He will not throw. Yes, the same backbreaking losses. No, without the interceptions. And that's a C.J. Stroud promise. You can point the thumb at that any day.
I had never heard that phrase until yesterday, and I spent way too much time thinking about it. I even tried to talk about it with you before the show because I was like, "Wait, what? What is this?"
That's what I think. That's what I think he's talking about, pointing the thumb like at himself. Because it's really hard to point your thumb at anything that isn't yourself.
That's true.
If you or maybe something behind you, or sideways, I guess, hitchhike style. But yeah, no, I imagine it's pointing the finger. You have 3 coming back at you, but if you point the thumb, I guess they're just pointing down. I don't know.
Typical Texans behavior, says Man Bear Pig and Cypress, would be bad clock management.
Oh yeah, timeout usage. That's something that's Bill O'Brien mostly.
Did you take issue with the clock management? That drive lasted forever. They did eventually realize, all right, shoot, we need to call timeouts to get the ball back. Honestly, I don't think that there was a clock management issue in this one. Really, the most same old Texans thing, now that I talk about it, maybe they aren't the same old Texans, because really the only thing was they, for the second year in a row, forgot that they have a kicker that can kick a 61-yard field goal and decided to punt at the 40-yard line when they probably could have, I don't know, won the game. Happened week 1 against the Colts last year. Happened this game against the Panthers. Kaimi Fairbairn's been here a while. Somebody should tell everybody that works for this team that Kaimi Fairbairn is good, which is why, as a kicker, he's been here for a while. I'm not saying he's great. I'm not saying he's Justin Tucker. I'm just saying he can kick it from there. Cam Johnston hit a effing 74-yard punt in that direction in the first quarter.
Talk about different old Texans. Great punting.
Right. I wasn't there. I didn't have my hand up to check the wind or whatever. But Johnson hit a 74-yard punt. Something tells me that if you kick the ball that direction, it was going pretty far that day. I don't know. Just a thought.